wake up to Bill Flynn in the morning.
They're watching grass grow.
What, with like a super growth formula or something?
Well, no. Grass is already so interesting. Why bother?
9:08, it's the Love Your Lawn Hour, and if you are one of those folks that really loves your lawn, I don't have to tell you what a big deal it is when you're watching your grass grow. I mean, it is exhilarating. Truly is.
Oh, yeah.
And I just moments ago sent a photograph to Tommy Cowett of GrowinGreen. Good morning, Tommy. How are you?
Good morning, Bill.
You good?
I'm awesome.
And it's the great thing here is I send you a picture that was taken in my front. Yesterday I was doing some lawn work, and a friend of mine who's running for office was canvassing, just happened to be canvassing the neighborhood. Her name is Patty Curran.
Patty Curran, I see her. Standing there next to you on your riding John Deere lawnmower.
So what I wanted you to see on that picture
is right behind her is
Yes.
that area we treated with the Miramichi last summer. And it's full grown in. It's deep, dark, thick, green, healthy turf.
It's
where last year
beautiful.
it was baked clay.
Now, it's really a beautiful chunk of lawn there, isn't it?
It's beautiful,
I mean,
Bill.
and if you zoom in, go ahead and zoom in on that picture.
Zoom in right on that.
You see how thick and lush that is?
That's beautiful, man. She's kind of nice looking herself.
Well, that's not a bad thing either. But I bring that up just because the picture was taken because I know her and she's running for office and that kind of thing. But the thing I wanted you to see, it just so happened that in that picture there was
that spot.
a big spot of gorgeous
That
front
was
lawn.
a wart, and now it's healed over. Now it's completely green, full cover, and it's beautiful, healthy Barenbrug Water Saver blend occupying that space.
Now, who do you know that does that kind of quality work?
Why GrowinGreen?
Yeah, it really is. It's a great testament.
It's the recipe.
You know, what I wish I had was maybe a photograph from a year or two ago, exactly the same angle.
I think I have one.
Exactly the same, okay,
I don't have that angle.
image.
I might have that angle.
But to do a compare and contrast on how far the lawn has come, it'd be a very impressive thing.
We do a lot of before after. I mean, I've got a lot of pictures of crappy lawns, and then you'll come back a year later and take a picture and then put them side by side. And, man, you know, we do that a lot. It's all part of marketing and
Points to the true issue that as much as people might like you or Jonathan or Kevin or whoever their tech is, ultimately, when we're buying a service, we want to see the results of that investment. And that's what this shows.
Oh, it absolutely does. This is exactly what this is. It illustrates how it can work. And then when you go deeper and look at what's actually going on underground with the roots.
Would that be an even more attractive photograph if you could see what's happening below the roots? I mean,
It
below the
would,
ground?
and I think that's where I was kind of mentioning last week is we're going to take this thing to another level where you'll be able to actually look at a footprint of where you've been, where you're going, where you are in the root zone of the plant. Not too many people that we don't have we're getting the technology. You know, and most people aren't interested in that. But from our perspective, as a lawn care operator, as a turf grass scientist, as a golf course superintendent, as a landscape manager of some type, who could use that as a tool to measure success, real success, where, you know, if you got no root, you got no top. And how do you build that root? And, you know, this is the way you do it.
It almost sounds like some of those, for people that love bird watching, you can actually get those things that attach to your window, and you can watch the birds actually build a nest and watch the egg ultimately hatch. You can see, you know, the whole beginning to end of life there for the bird. Similarly, this is what you want to do essentially for the grass plant itself then.
Yeah, I guess those are bird geeks. We're turf geeks. I mean, you know, there's people who take it to the next level. And they want to take it to the next level. As we were talking, and you guys are always talking about the generations, the millennials and the X generation and the baby boomers and stuff. I'm a baby boomer. I'm right on the line, 1963. Then you go to X generation. I don't know if Alex is X or is he millennial?
He's definitely millennial.
Well, 80s.
And he says that with utterly no enthusiasm, just so you know. It's just whereas you might be enthusiastic about being a boomer.
I think the millennials are going to be more analytical, and they're going to want to. They would have the potential to really be interested in that. You know, they don't trust anybody. You know, they got
and for good reason.
They want verification on everything. They have the smartphones. They have the technology. They, you know, what did we do? We used our eyes, ears to sensing, you know, for what we could see, what we believe, and our, you know, hear. What we were told was usually true. You know, not anymore. You know, nothing you hear. Well, it has to be verified.
It may well be that there will be an app on the phone for GrowinGreen that will answer some of the things you're talking about in that next level of analysis.
Right. There will be apps. You would not believe all the appscaping. There's treescaping. There's milestone-scaping, like a baby was born. You do a landscape thing for a baby that was born.
Is this like a living memorial of life? Of
you know, healing gardens. You know, I mean, I'm talking healthscaping. These are like medicinal gardens. You know, we've got one actually over at Bethabra. There's a medicinal garden.
So will you put herbs out there, or what?
Oh, yeah, tons of herbs. See, that's been there for hundreds of years. They're maintaining it. But that's a medicinal garden. It's bringing it back. Not too many people have a medicinal garden. You know, I mean, it's just things are coming back, and the technology and sharing the information and going, you know, that was a great idea. That may have been, like I am always talking about Korean farming technique that's 2,000 years old, where we take the microbes, we grow it out on rice, and then we grow it, add molasses, grow it in magnitude, millions and millions of colonies of the bacteria and fungi, and then you've got yourself a culture or a serum that you can use on your plants. That's the way they've been doing it for 2,000 years, where we got into the ChemLawn syndrome here, and we just started putting our lawns on steroids that weren't very healthy for the plant. It'd crash and burn.
And to be clear, that is not the GrowinGreen system.
No, that's
what you
not
just
the
described.
GrowinGreen way. We use natural products.
Very good. Well, we'll be back. What a fascinating run for the first segment of the show. We have Tommy Cowett with us. It is the Love Your Lawn Hour, and GrowinGreen is our sponsor of this segment. We'll be back with more. If you have a question for Tommy about your lawn, or maybe a petscape, or an herbal area garden, whatever, 896-1980, our phone number. We'll be back in just a bit.
Call now. The number is 896-1980, AM 980, The Eagle.
Good morning. It is 9:20, 20 minutes after 9. You got the Love Your Lawn Hour. We got Tommy Cowett with us from GrowinGreen. And I just said, Tommy, November begins this weekend.
Yes, it does. Halloween.
Now, you have been cranking it out the last weeks.
Since
2 months.
September 1st is when we first started laying that seed out.
You've really been hitting it hard, though. And then the prep to get up to that point, too.
Guys, overtime, working, everything. You know it.
So any tips as we're headed into the last weekend of October and November, just as a homeowner, as a love your lawn person?
Well, you got leaves are getting ready to come down in magnitude. I mean, you know, we're in peak week right now for fall color. So we're going to see the most beautiful color this week when the sun comes back out on Thursday. And it's going to be gorgeous. But then we're going to start seeing a lot of leaves, you know, starting to fall. So if you've had your seeding done, you do want to have a plan of action. Keep the lawn clean. And of course, you're doing it. I can see how you're keeping the leaves off your lawn. Blow them into a natural area. Blow them into a compost bin. Bag them up. Whatever. There's great exercise. You really get your cardio going.
It's a commitment to do that, though. I mean, that is it is nature's return tsunami of waves of leaves that we're seeing here.
And I like to leave those leaves to the trees. I mean, you want it to break down. I blow mine into natural areas that are surrounding my property and just get them off the lawn so it doesn't smother the lawn, and lets all that young grass mature really well over the next month or so, you know. So have that ready to go. Just be ready to remove those leaves. Have them blown off is the best way. The raking is not really the best because you can damage sometimes the baby seedlings. They're very tender. But, a light blowing, get them off. That's number one. Have a plan of action. Now, if you haven't seeded, you're still in a window, but you got to deal with these leaves. Moisture's not as big of an issue right now as it was, where, it doesn't dry out as quickly. So watering is not as hard as it was, say, when you seeded in September.
Hey, as we're coming up to Halloween weekend, I know this is one of the things, if you have been fortunate enough to take advantage of the seeding window and you've seen some really good things happen in your lawn, and then the next thing is, if you live in a high-traffic Halloween neighborhood, your tips for handling that effectively and not be in the neighborhood curmudgeon.
Right. Well, I have a big spooky-looking keep off the grass sign that I use every Halloween for when the trick-or-treaters are coming down the walk, and I use a little fence to guide the kids in so that they can come up the walk and then get to the porch and then get, the smoke from the dry ice machine, and all this stuff starts going off, the electronics, the spooky cat with his head going back and forth, and this thing that raises up. It's a Grim Reaper-looking thing.
Wow, you're going all out for this.
I go all out.
There you go.
But I've been doing that. I love Halloween. I don't see how Winston-Salem got such a negative rating.
Isn't that sad? I know.
My band played the Garage on Halloween about 3 years ago, the other mothers. And, man, it was one of the best Halloween parties I've ever been to.
Good.
And we got to play it.
Well, we'll get you the info on who made the survey, and you can send them an ask you letter. Tell them they should have talked to you.
Come down to the Garage in downtown Winston-Salem and check out the bands and the spooky people, and you'll be convinced Winston-Salem knows how to rock on Halloween.
Well, now, I do want to turn our attention a little bit to what you did. Let's see, last week you were on the show.
Right.
And as soon as you did the show, I think you were getting ready to go on the road to go to Kentucky.
We left for Louisville, Kentucky directly after the show. Drove up through the beautiful mountains of North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia.
How long a drive, by the way?
It's about an 8-hour, 9-hour drive. I think it took us 10 to get back, because we always stop, and take it easy on the way up.
But you went literally to learn more about everything you do every day at GrowinGreen.
Oh, yeah. We went up a day early to go to a bio summit that was hosted by a company we deal with called Organics.
Now, what's a bio summit?
That is the meeting of the minds with all the folks who are soil scientists, turfgrass scientists, marketing magnetos, these people who are just brilliant, that can teach you how to market your company. Not only that, you learn about the science of this, soil science and mycology, about the bacteria and the fungi and everything that goes into a compost tea. That's just part of it. And just a lot of really great information. It's all like in a seminar.
You've been incorporating a lot of this for some time now.
Yes, this is our third year going to the Bio Summit. And that is the owner of that company, a brilliant man by the name of Barrett Ursek. And he started Organics. Before that, he started 2 lawn care companies, which he sold for a couple $1 million each. This guy never went to college. He had a child when his girlfriend was 17 years old. He knew that he had to somehow feed that family. And the only thing he knew how to do was lawn care. So he worked his butt off. And now he's got a great company. He wrote an article in a business article that was actually published in the Harvard Review. I mean, here's a guy without a degree.
How about that?
Yeah.
And that's a great reminder of certainly how fascinated and high demand there is for people that want to have good lawn care opportunities, but also that we live in America where that can still happen.
Oh, absolutely. You
That's
just got to
great.
put your mind to it. And you see Barrett and some of the ideas he has, like about the purple cow. How do you become a purple cow? You got to stand apart. You got to stand, out from the regulars. And you see a purple cow on the side of the road. What's going to happen? That's remarkable. You're going to tell all your friends about it. Hey, man, I saw this purple cow. And John is looking for his purple cow. GrowinGreen, we're looking for our purple cow. or green cow or orange cow or whatever. It's got to be remarkable, but it should be tasteful.
A very interesting idea. I want to hear more about this seminar or seminars that you went to and how that relates to those of us back here at home in North Carolina and the work you do at Growing Green. We'll be back in just a bit. If you'd like to be part of the program, 896-1980, our phone number. Bill Flynn here, back in just a moment.
Call now. The number is 896-1980, AM 980, The Eagle.
Well, good morning. The cool of late October and that gorgeous fall sunshine that we got so much of over the weekend. It's a little elusive today, but these are the kind of conditions that your grass is saying, yeah, this is where I want to be.
Doesn't hurt to have a little rain.
We should get some of that today and tomorrow. Got a little bit of it yesterday. Tommy Cowett with Growing Green, the Love Your Lawn Hour, joining us this morning. And,
good morning.
Good morning. Welcome back. You took a road trip. You and a few folks from Growing Green, Jonathan Rigsby among them.
Scott Reese and Chad Culbertson.
But y'all went to Louisville. It was, now, undoubtedly, you guys are going to have some fun. But, I mean, really, this is a huge learning curve for everybody that goes. And tell me some of the things. I know Jonathan was there with a Breakfast of Champions. Jonathan is the founder of the company, Growing Green.
Right.
And he was there for something called Breakfast of Champions, where he was advising others that would like to start lawn care companies what he went through, what he might wish to avoid if he was advising somebody today. So to be there and speaking on behalf of the industry is quite an honor.
Right, exactly. And it was Breakfast of Champions, and if you wanted to come and have breakfast with Jonathan, he did a talk for the group at the table, and, it's like an hour, and just any questions you want to ask him about how he started the company and, what kind of pitfalls to look out for, or how did you grow it, what to do, how to market, anything. Just bring it up. What are you doing? How did you buy your first truck? How do you finance it?
And
all that stuff.
Those answers that somebody like Jonathan is going to be giving are not coming from an academic background purely, although he's got that.
Right.
This is a man that has been through that, the mountaintops and the valleys of doing it on your own.
Sure. He's quite a celebrity out there in the fact that he was the Landscape Management Magazine, which is a national magazine, did an expose on Growing Green just last month. So it was fresh on everybody's mind. So a lot of people were coming up to Jonathan and saying, hey, I saw the article on Growing Green. And,
That's good.
So a lot of people probably wanted to attend that breakfast meeting. Or I actually sat in the first morning, and there was a young girl whose father started a lawn care company many years ago. And now she's very young and moved away. I think she's moved to a big city like New York and just said, you know what? This stinks. I hate this. I'm going back home to Mississippi.
Oh,
and my dad's got this company. He's about ready to get out of it. He's either going to sell it or I have an opportunity to get in. Now, she wants to reinvent it. And this was a great opportunity. This girl had all come going with it. Yeah,
I think it's
couldn't wait to get back to Mississippi to continue her dad's company. I mean, why not? I mean, it's already built. You got the customers. Let's maintain it and grow it to the next level.
And take it somewhere where it hasn't been before.
Exactly.
And some of the things you're doing at Growing Green would be exactly where that company could go, right?
It gives you pride in knowing that you're doing it right. It gives me great pride to know I'm doing it right.
Well, tell me a little bit more. The show you went to, it's GIE show. Tell me what that stands for.
Green Industry Expo.
Okay.
It's always held in Louisville, Kentucky, primarily because they have the space for this field day where you can pretty much test drive any piece of equipment that you'd like. And I had a great time every day.
All right. Now, tell me some of the cool things, the innovations you saw in this trade show.
Well, everything from remote control lawnmowers, like you can mow your lawn from your deck, a commercial grade
Really?
mower.
Now, did it work well, and was it?
Oh, absolutely. It's a handheld device. And you
Cool.
were mentioning that you saw a stump grinder that did similar to that.
Yep.
That has an attachment or a wire, or I don't know if that was wireless or not. But
No,
this
it was
is-
wireless. Yeah,
Okay, this
it
is
was.
wireless. Yeah. That type of thing, I would say, for something like that, pretty cool. You'd say you got a slope and you're afraid to put a man on that slope.
Yeah, okay.
Get that mower and drive it up there. That way it's not as top heavy or that type of thing.
If you want to sit on the deck and have a nice glass of wine or cigar while you're mowing your lawn.
Oh, I would do it. That'd be awesome. There was a lot of new robotic equipment out there, where...
Now, is that kind of the future where so much is going, this robotics?
Yeah, with lawnmowers, that technology is really taking off. I mean, there's they have a docking station. Then the little lawnmower's like a robot. And it's programmed to just ride around your lawn and mow. And it looks at the height of the grass has not been cut. And it just seeks it. And it can really do a great job mowing. And these things can turn
you're not having to
360.
control every second
No,
of it.
you can leave that
I see.
alone
Okay,
and let
okay.
it mow all day.
I
It'll
see.
stop when it senses that it's running out of power. It'll go back to its docking station.
Oh,
It's like a
that's
little
cool.
pet. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
And it has enough power to actually cut the grass
Oh, yeah.
effectively.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, the technology and these batteries, these lithium batteries are going crazy. I mean, last year I tested the Echo chainsaw that was battery powered.
Now, I remember you telling me about that, and you were blown away the power.
The power on that one. Now, this year I went ahead and tested the Still, the Echo, the Husqvarna, and the, I couldn't believe it. This one won hands down. Biggest bar, most power, and apparently the best runtime was the DeWalt. And that's actually going to be available at Lowe's.
So this is a backpack blower kind of thing?
No,
or
it's a
handheld?
chainsaw.
I'm sorry, chainsaw. Okay.
Really powerful.
The DeWalt hand chainsaw.
Yes, and it's battery powered.
Isn't that something?
Battery pack.
Now,
also this year was the first time I've seen the blowers.
I was going to ask you.
Backpack blowers that are battery operated. And I got to say, DeWalt again
Get out,
had
really? How about
the
that?
strongest, best one. I mean, I tried the Still and I tried the Echo. And I got to say, no doubt, DeWalt, even though it's more homeowner grade, very, very good. Very good.
I'm very intrigued by that and some of the innovations. And this, what you see at this show right now is the kind of thing that will be infiltrating into the consumer market in the next 5 to 10 years.
Sure.
You'll see that. Okay, we're going to take a very short break. Come back with our final segment of the Love Your Lawn Hour, which sometimes is the Love Taking Care of Your Lawn Hour, as we talked about in this segment on AM 980, the Eagle 943.
Call now. The number is 896-1980. AM 980, The Eagle.
All right, good morning. 9:46, 14 before 10 o'clock. It is our very fast-moving Love Your Lawn Hour with Growing Green. Growing Green, you can reach them, by the way, on the web at growinggreen.com, growinggreen.com, or at the phone at 1-866-LAWN-HELP, 1-866-LAWN, HELP, Lawn Help. Before the break, you were just telling me about how impressed you were with some of these electronic devices now, including chainsaws that you saw at the trade show, including blowers that you saw at the chainsaw at the show. The
battery-powered mowers, robotic
Mowers.
ones that do it themselves.
I mean, moving dirt from point A to point B. They got motorized little carts that'll do that now.
Oh, some of the technology there's this core MIDI Italian line of these amazing versatile equipment. I love it. I mean, these are things where you've got a loader and a bucket and a dump truck or a dump on the same piece of equipment. So it'll load, put it in another part of the machine that's a dump, and you can move around all. It's just versatile
Now,
equipment.
is it about the size of a lawn tractor
a
altogether?
little bit bigger than a lawn tractor, yeah.
And this thing will dig and scoop and flatten and.
Oh yeah, if you've seen the Dingo, which was like a ride-on or stand-on type of front end loader, very versatile. You can get around. It's called a mini skid steer, and you can get a lot of work done with that. Well, this thing is like take that and then put a dump on it. Put a like a big containing like a dump truck on that.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. So you can load your dump or your dump truck and then take it and move your mulch.
Okay, so you want to move mulch around. You got
sand, concrete, all whatever you're making.
Beautiful thing.
Unbelievable.
Now, you also told me there's advice, and it really captured my imagination, I'm sure that of others, is a device that is actually capable of compressing the ground. Say you want to put in pavers or a patio, or you've just installed some underground piping, and you want to kind of compact that soil again.
Just tampers that are remote control. They're pretty common. Yeah, out there was a big push on the pavers. I mean, you see this going in everywhere. People putting in these patios because the technology with the Versalock and the Paver Stone and all these companies that are making those, really nice paver stones and the system to put it in. And you can make, these outdoor kitchens. That's becoming so popular. Everybody wants to have like a burning, pit in the backyard that, you can hang around and just enjoy yourself outside.
That's just we live in an amazing time.
We do.
To see these, because, previous generations, especially if you go back to the founding of the country in those times, you spent your whole life really just trying to survive, are things that just...
They're becoming more environmentally friendly at the same time. When you see a lot of this electronic stuff coming out. But at the same time, we've got these lobbyists on the left that are pushing away or trying to shut everything down, it seems like.
Now, you were telling me about a story. This comes out of Maryland where there was an ordinance for a local county.
City council of Montgomery County, Maryland, just outlawed the cosmetic applications on home lawns, or any lawn for that matter, which means no more fertilizations, no more weed control, nothing.
So if you just put down sod, or you've been doing a program with GrowinGreen for a year or two, they're saying you got to stop and you got to throw away that investment.
If it wants to go to weeds, it's going to go to weeds. You can't do anything about it. It's illegal now.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That's the liberal land up there in Montgomery County. That's where Rachel Carson was from. She wrote Silence. She had DDT was banned at that point.
Well, really what you're...
DDT saved more millions of lives from malaria than any other product in history.
But what you're talking about here, if you have an ordinance that says that really is...
They don't know what they're doing.
Well, if they do, that's even worse. But it's taking away...
they do know what they're doing.
It's taking away the property rights of that person.
Taking away property rights, exactly.
That's a shocker. So
you're not allowed to do anything unless you got their permission or their approval. And they're taking away all the approval. I mean, we're no longer living in a free country.
In this case, the ordinance in Maryland you're talking about.
Sure.
You literally have to get a permission slip?
No.
Winston-Salem City Council.
Well, this is a wake-up call that we have got to get more involved. And I think people have. People woke up, as you see in the last election. There was a big shift in the House and the Senate where it shifted. And people are saying, no, we're pushing back. We don't like this anymore. You guys are getting too much involved in our lives. You're getting too, with Obamacare and all that other stuff. We're feeling the pain from that with our company because of our health care. We're group plan. Some of us are really paying way, way too much.
But, to the Love Your Lawn Hour listener who may be on that side of the political spectrum, now being told by those same people, you run the risk of not being able to grow your garden or put that landscape the way you want it.
Oh, yeah. You're going to lose the freedom. Yep.
That may be the wake-up call for a lot of folks. If the lawn-centric folks that may say, All right,
This is not over yet. It did pass 6-3, but that's Montgomery County, Maryland. Now, that argument is not over. They could overturn it, and it will be overturned. It's not going to end there. No, we're going to stop this.
But that's as frightening thought that there would be those in positions of government authority, even at the, Montgomery County level, that would see that it would be.
Well, they're not thinking it through, or they have thought it through, and like you said, they just want to take all the property rights away from us. Is that what it is?
Well,
Bill, you're a politician more so than I am. I'm just seeing how we're losing a lot of freedom.
Well, it's been said. Sam Alito on the Supreme Court, one of the Supreme Court justices, once said that the rights that you have that are unexercised, that are not defended, may as well not be there. And he has a point.
God,
that if we're not willing to stand up and say, "Hey, this is my right," then do you have the virtue to exercise it the way you should? And I think there's a case to be made that we've got to become aware of this and the encroachment of all of these things. Well, before we wrap up on the Love Your Lawn Hour, which we're just about a little over a minute away from doing, coming into November, and just a last-minute reminder here, if you're going to do anything, you've hit the wire to do that?
You can still seed. Ground's not frozen. You can seed until it freezes. And but you're not going to get that quick, 2 weeks and it's up, or even we saw grass germinating within 5 days.
And what about frost time? And what about these cold temperatures we're getting?
It just slows everything down as far as germination of the seed. But you still want to, if you're planning on seeding, get it in this winter. Get it in this fall and winter before spring. Spring seedings just don't last. That's a waste of money.
Better late season of fall than waiting for spring to do the seeding.
Don't do it in the spring. You'll end up, it's just not going to make it through the heat.
All right. Well, listen, welcome back from Kentucky. I can tell you learned a lot, and I suspect we'll be hearing more about that through blogs and through Ask the Expert and all the kinds of things you can access right now at the folks at GrowinGreen. The website is growinggreen.com. I want to thank Tommy Cowett for being here this morning. It's the Love Your Lawn Hour. The phone number for the folks at GrowinGreen, you can reach him at 1-866-LAWN-HELP, 1-866-LAWN-HELP, and we'll look for you next time on the Love Your Lawn Hour. I'm Bill Flynn, and that's it for today. We'll look for you tomorrow morning starting at 8 o'clock right here on AM 980, The Eagle.